Alright guys, time for the next video. So, I mentioned in my Turning Points and Mental Struggle video that, eventually you're going to come to the point where you just need to have a breakdown, have a real heart-to-heart with yourself, and understand your reasoning and your drive behind wanting to better yourself, in your health, in your weight loss journey, or your lifestyle shift. Depending on how many things are impacted, everything will change, okay? Once you've got that fire burning, okay, and you have a motive now, what's the first step you take? Well, honestly, the first step is, of course, going to be nutrition. So you need to become a master of your own nutrition. Now, I'm not a dietitian. I'm not a meal prep blogger. I'm not a meal prep person for YouTube. I do personally meal prep. It is and has become a pivotal and vital piece of my weight loss journey, and I think that anybody who's wanting to try to lose weight should consider meal prepping. Meal prepping is going to provide you with a stable, ease of access form of nutrition that you'll be able to document, you'll be able to control what goes into it. It's all around just been a huge beneficial piece to my own journey, and I think that you should strongly consider it. Now, is it for everybody? Absolutely not. But is it worth the time to learn about it and see if it fits your lifestyle? Absolutely. So, as I mentioned before, basically what you're going to run into is you're going to go online. I'll put some links in the description. You'll find your basal metabolic rate, okay? And then you're also going to go and find what your macros are. Both of them are relatively going to ask you the same questions: your age, your weight, your gender, just a few different, your height. That's the other thing that they're very big on. And it'll ask you, like weight loss for your macros, or how active are you in your lifestyle? Are you sedentary? Are you moderately active? Are you very active? There's going to be some questions. So just be honest. If you're sedentary, you're sedentary. I was when I first started. Now I walk or work out 6 days a week. So now I'm moderately active. Depending on how much I do in that week, sometimes I am active. But be honest with yourself, fill them out, and you're going to get two results. Number one is going to be your basal metabolic rate. This is how much or how many calories your body is going to burn every day, regardless of what you do in that day. Just to exist and function the way that your body should function, you're going to burn X amount of calories. That's your basal metabolic rate. Doesn't include any exercise, doesn't include you getting up, going to work, anything you consume in the day. It is just how many calories your body is going to consume to stay alive. That's going to be your baseline. And then your macros are going to outline what you and your specific, age, height, weight, gender, what you should be having as far as your grams of calories, your calories, your grams of fat, your grams of carbs, your grams of protein. It's going to give you your building blocks of what you need to achieve in a day to lose weight. And to be able to meal prep, you really need to know these two things. I think at one point my basal metabolic rate was like 2,300 calories a day is how much my body was just going to burn existing. Doesn't include anything that I eat, doesn't include any exercises that I do. Just existing, I'm going to burn 2,300 calories a day. So I set my goal, my nutrition goal, to 2,000 calories a day, which is exactly what every label on every food source is based off of by the FDA. So I based it at 2,000 calories a day. Now, how you get that 2,000 calories is important. If you eat a couple pints of ice cream, you could do 2,000 calories very, very quickly. But you have no nutrition. You're not getting the building blocks necessary for your body to function properly. So once you have your macros, you'll know how many grams of what you need, and you'll know your basal metabolic rate. Then you create a battle plan. Create a shopping list. Okay, almost every food item in the grocery store has a healthy alternative. And I do mean almost everything. Ice cream, candy bars, everything has a healthy alternative. It's very important that you flip over to the back of any item. I have my my empty bottle of men's vitamins. But you'll see this. On pretty much every food item, anything that's been FDA regulated, you'll have one of these. And on that, whether it be cake, ice cream, macaroni and cheese, steak, lobster tail, everything has a nutrition value. So you use your macros that you will get from your macro calculator, and again, I'll put a link in the description, and you'll find out how many grams of what you need to have, and at that point you can break that down. Some people want 3 meals a day, some people want 4 meals a day, some people want 5 meals a day. It all depends on you, depends on your lifestyle, depends on how you are living your life, or what's easiest for you to live your normal life whilst also meal prepping. I personally subscribe to a breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I'm a 3 meal a day kind of guy. If I need a snack, I have healthy snack alternatives. But breakfast, lunch, and dinner are my big 3. So you're going to want to establish a healthy form of each one, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Meal prepping makes this very easy. There are convenience items. For example, oatmeal is super quick, super easy, and as long as you don't dump a ton of sugar in it, it's pretty healthy in a lot of aspects. It does a lot for your digestion, brings a lot of fiber to your diet, and it's a sustainable carbohydrate. It's going to take some time. It's going to stick with you for a while, so you're not going to eat oatmeal and be hungry 15 minutes later. It's just not a thing. First time I started eating oatmeal, I couldn't even finish the bowl, and I made one serving per the suggested 2,000 calorie diet. Third of a cup, add the appropriate amounts of water. I used almond milk, I think. Just a preference. It's a taste. You have one of my other favorites. I'm a breakfast guy. I love breakfast foods. I can eat breakfast for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's just a thing for me. Turkey sausage, turkey bacon, eggs. All of these things are okay to eat, and you can cook them in many different ways, and there are healthy fats that you can cook them with. Coconut oil, cooking sprays. These kind of things will make your life much easier. So read the labels, okay? Get in the stores, find out what you want to eat, come up with a meal plan of what it is that you want to eat, and be honest with yourself. If it is not something that is your favorite and you can't see yourself eating it 3 or 4 times in a week, that's not what you should buy. That's just not what you should buy. Try to keep things basic, try to keep things simple. When you're first starting out, there was a fad called like the bro diet, which was like broccoli, chicken, and white rice. If you can eat that 4 times a week, more power to you. Weigh out, measure your servings. You will absolutely lose weight eating that diet as long as your portions are right and you're under your basal metabolic rate as far as calories. You are going to do just fine. You're going to put yourself in a caloric deficit, and you're going to see progress. These kind of fad diets, I guess you would say, aren't always very sustainable. I'm not eating chicken, broccoli, and rice for the next 8 months to try to lose weight. I don't have that kind of commitment to that diet or that type of food that I could do that. Some of the favorites for me is, I transitioned away from red meat, so I ate a lot of ground turkey, a lot of ground chicken, but I make all the same recipes that I usually would, minding my macros, not to put too much cheese or dairy, but I make, spaghetti and meatballs. You can do whole wheat, whole grain pasta, or you can do spaghetti squash, that's a thing. If you want to do hamburgers, you can do turkey burgers, that's a thing. A couple eggs, some breadcrumbs, weigh and measure everything the way you're supposed to, prep it the proper way. Romaine lettuce is a great substitute. Iceberg lettuce is a great substitute for buns, and many sandwiches and roll-ups and wraps or whatever you want to do. They're a great alternative to your traditional bleached white breads. I transitioned away from bleached white breads, went to whole grain, pretty much anything. So any grains that I'm having, I want them to be whole grained and processed the least amount as they can, so that they are they hold more nutrition value in my day-to-day diet. And then you just watch your fats in your dairies. Some people don't do dairy at all. I am a cheesehead. I love having cheese in and around my meals and my snacks. So I just have to buy consciously. They offer low-fat alternatives to most cheeses. Buy those if you wish. If you can afford the calories and you want that good cheese and that fatty cheese, then as long as it is within your macros and under your basal metabolic rate, you're not going to have any problems with that. Is it the most nutritious thing? Probably not. But will you see progress? Absolutely. Does it make it more sustainable to have something that tastes good and you enjoy? Absolutely. So if you're gonna go out and you're gonna set up meal preps, I recommend buying 2 meals worth of food the first time. I cook for myself, so cooking a meal to the volume of a family of 4 is going to leave me 8 meals when I'm all said and done and everything's cooked. That equates to that 4 days worth of food. Okay, that's lunch and dinner. Now my breakfast stuff is separate, so lunch and dinner I got 4 days. So about every 4 days I find myself going to the grocery store, and I will buy 2 different meals. So you want to make a meatloaf, make a meatloaf. Use ground turkey. If you want to do meatballs, you ground turkey. You want to do tacos, ground turkey. You want to, ground turkey and ground chicken. People debate about whether or not which one's better for which, but truth of the matter is, I can't tell the difference in the 2 of them. They both just kind of resemble ground meat at that point, or ground beef. And once you season them, dry seasonings are going to be your best friends. So look at the packet aisle. When you go to your grocer, they've got 800 seasoning packets. So figure out what's going to work for you. Pick a favorite. Pick something that you're going to be able to eat a couple times a week. Cook that. Immediately once you're done, you can package them up in Tupperwares. Run down to the dollar store, Dollar General, Dollar Tree. They sell Tupperware at a reasonable price. You're not going to break the bank. You can buy a substantial or a significant amount for a little drop in the bucket compared to a Walmart or something of that nature where you're going to pay more money. Package up some meals, put them in the fridge. If you're not going to eat them within the next, let's say, 3 days, throw them in the freezer. When you are ready to eat them the night before, the day before, pull them out, put them in the fridge, let them defrost. You're good to go. You have meals. Pop them in the microwave. Most don't take more than a minute or 2 to heat up, and you have a meal. A substantial meal, a nutritionally sound meal, and very minimal effort. So yeah, on the prep days, when you go to the grocery store and you come home and you cook those meals, it's going to be a pain. But if you figure you're taking your entire 4 days worth of cooking and cramming them into one, you have 3 days where you're not cooking. I like that. That's appealing to me. So that's what I do. If that doesn't work for you, then of course maybe meal prepping isn't for you. But I recommend trying it. If you have a larger family, increase the volumes accordingly. But remember, everything's in weight and in volume, so stick to your basal metabolic rate, what you're supposed to burn every day. Stay under that no matter what you do. Put yourself in a caloric deficit and try to hit your macros as close as you can. You're supposed to have X amount of, these 4 macros. Get as close to, if you can hit them, hit them. If you can't hit them or you go over in something, keep it in mind and tweak and adjust your recipes for your meal preps accordingly. Chicken breast, great alternative. I try to steer away from chicken thighs because they do have a lot of fat on them. But if you get them, you pull them out of the package, you take a pair of poultry shears, you can trim most of the fat off of them. You can grill them, you can bake them, whatever you want to do. Whatever your recipe is. If you want some jerk chicken, make jerk chicken. If you want hamburgers, make hamburgers. There's anything that you can cook as a regular meal, you can make a healthy alternative to. And when you're factoring those into meal preps, you're now hitting your nutritional values for the day on more than one day in a caloric deficit just by staying under your basal metabolic rate. You are going to notice results. Now, the way I have it set up, mine's at like 2,300 calories a day for my basal metabolic rate. My macros, and everybody knows their diet should be about 2,000 calories a day. So I set mine at 2,000 calories a day. When you're eating 2,000 calories worth of clean, whole foods, you are not going to be hungry. Okay, and if you are, probably just dehydrated. Everybody's got, tumblers these days. Everybody's got their shaker cups these days. So hydrate. Okay, hydrate. Water, ice water, no ice in your water, lemon water, water. And then when you get tired of drinking water, drink some more water. Okay, if you're eating the right stuff and you're drinking plenty of water, you're not going to struggle to feel full or feel fulfilled in your day to day. Yeah, it's not the same as powering through, half to three quarters of a large pie from some of your favorite pizza joint, but you're going to feel better. And results speak for themselves. So give it a try. Test yourself. Give yourself 30 days. Track your food. Track your food intake, okay? MyFitnessPal, Samsung Health does it. I'm pretty sure Fitbit and Apple Watch apps both do it. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure they do. Track your food. Track what you're eating. Track what you're drinking. If you go to Starbucks and get a coffee, don't forget to add that to your food. It's calories, loaded with calories, sugars, and track it, okay? Track everything for 30 days. Try to hit your mark on your macros for 30 days. At the end of that 30 days, if you have not lost weight, you should probably call your doctor because something's wrong. All joking aside, you're going to see results. There's no way you cannot see results. Now, it may only be a pound. It may only be 2 pounds or 3 pounds, okay? If you've lost 3 pounds in 30 days, you're 3 pounds lighter than you were 30 days ago, okay? That's progress. And it will be slow, and it will be tough, and it will sometimes be frustrating. But if you take into consideration, let's say you lose 5 pounds a month, it's 12 months in a year. I mean, I'm not a mathematician, but you're making progress, okay? So be honest with yourself, okay? You owe it to yourself. You've made up your mind. You're going to do this. And you know what? If your family wants to eat junk food or crap or whatever, let them. Let them. Because it's not their life, okay? It's your life. And if you're going to be any good for them, you need to be good to yourself first. So love yourself, eat the right things. Give yourself a nutritious diet. Exercise is not weight loss. Exercise is cardiovascular health. Exercise is great in many ways, but exercise does not inherently promote weight loss. It's all about a caloric deficit. If you exercise so much that if you eat 5,000 calories a day and you exercise to 8,000 calories burned, you're in a deficit. So it makes no difference, okay? Put yourself in a caloric deficit. Stick to your guns for 30 days. Be honest with yourself. If you have a candy bar, track it. Forgive yourself. It happens. It happens to all of us, okay? Learn from it. If you're going to cheat and you're going to have a slice of pizza or, you're going to have a candy bar, so what? So what? It doesn't mean you didn't make 29 other good days that month, okay? Keep it in perspective. Keep yourself honest. Track what you eat. Put yourself in a caloric deficit. You will see progress. You will see change. You will see weight loss. Now, once you have all this going, okay, give yourself 30 days. On day 1, weigh yourself. On day 30, weigh yourself. You will see progress. I'm not going to say anything legally binding or anything, but I'd bet money on it. I'm not really a gambling man, so take that for what it's worth. But you will see a result, and you'll feel better. Oh my God, you'll sleep better. Your skin will look better. Your hair will feel better. Everything will improve when you start eating a nutritionally sound diet. Eat a lot of whole foods. Processed foods are not supportive of a weight loss regime or any kind of plan or lifestyle change. Processed foods are not great. So if it's processed, it's not great. Just know that. Right off the rip, it's not great. Can you eat it? Absolutely. Terrible example, Kraft cheese singles. It's pretty much plastic. Right? It is like garbage. I still eat it, and I'm still losing weight. So, caloric deficit is what it's is the main thing that matters, I should say. And being honest with yourself. If you lie to yourself and you cheat on yourself, who's losing? You're losing, and not in the way that we want to. So let's say that if you can make it that first 30 days, following your macros, under your basal metabolic rate, putting yourself in a deficit, you're going to see results. It takes about 3,000 to 3,500 calories to a pound of fat, if my memory serves me correct. So if you're putting yourself at let's say 500 calorie deficit a day, including whatever light activity and exercise that you're doing, you're going to see results. 500 calories, 500 calories, 500, 6 days, and you've lost a pound. Now, if you add exercise into that workout plan and you make that deficit bigger using exercise and still eat the same amount of food you have been. You're still under your basal metabolic rate as far as what you're consuming, but you're creating a bigger gap between what you're eating and how much you're expending in a day. You're gonna amplify that weight loss process. So everything within reason. You should shoot to lose a pound or two a week if you can. It's kind of, it's a thing, and it's healthy and acceptable to do so. I've been doing so. Notice no negative repercussions. I eat like a horse. I just eat the right things, and I exercise. So I'm seeing progress, and I just wanted to share that with you guys. I wanted you guys to know that it's possible and give you kind of tips and tricks from a bigger guy who wants that big filling meal, who wants to, be able to feel full throughout my entire day and not feel like I'm starving myself, because that's what diets made me feel like. When I would diet, it was like, oh, I gotta starve myself. No, I was just eating the wrong things. Eat the right things, eat whole foods, and you will feel better. And then if you're following your basal metabolic rate versus your macros and you're able to create a caloric deficit, you are going to see the pounds come off. I'd put money on it. I'd put money on it. So take that advice, okay? Make the promise to yourself, okay? You're gonna try it for 30 days. If you get to the end of that 30 days and you haven't lost a single pound, which I know you will have, if you get to the end of that 30 days and you haven't lost a single pound, it's time to seriously consider what you're eating. You're not being honest with yourself. That's what it boils down to. There's nothing wrong with you. You don't need to seek medical attention. You're just not being honest with yourself. You're eating the wrong foods, and there's nobody that can deny it. You're the one doing it, so be honest. It's not always easy. Sometimes painfully hard, but if you stick to your guns and you work at it, it will pay off. I promise you that it will pay off. So keep grinding, okay? Get out to that store. Do your calculator. Again, in the description, I'll put a link to both the ones that I used personally and still use today to try to refresh myself. So check them out. Do them. Get your numbers. Create a meal plan. Get to the store. Buy your food. Prep your food. Stick to it. 30 days. I guarantee you won't be sorry. Thanks for watching, guys. Definitely feel free to subscribe if you wish to. Leave a like. Any comments. I'm glad to discuss any of this with you. But have a great day, everyone.